Alright, welcome back everybody. It's been maybe 2 days since our last stream, where we finished Incandescent Ode of Resurrection. And, I mean, I guess we could do the Beetle Brawl. But, I don't know if I want to. I haven't been following the Beetle Brawl storyline. I think we missed the last one in Leeway. This looks like to be a continuation of that one. They're always very fun, though. Anyway, we're here to do this. It's the Masters of the Nightwind. We finally get to continue with this quest line, and I'm honestly intrigued. Let's go weave some scrolls and use some invisible colors to paint. That's the game plan. I recently did a reaction to the Capitano animated short. If there's anything else you'd like me to do a reaction to, I guess that's also worth mentioning. And if there's any of these events, they're probably all going to be gone by the time I can get to any of them. Emblem of Steadfast Valor. I don't know what that's about. We're here to finish this Tribal Chronicles. And it looks like it's going to be right on the bridge. Is that a Fatui guy right there? It's a bunch of Fatui guys.
Huh? What are the Fatui doing here?
That's a good question, Paimon.
That's a little concerning. Let's go over there and see what they're up to.
I wonder what the Fatui's presence is going to be like now that Capitano's not around anymore.
Also, how did they get this close to a tribal settlement?
Well, considering what the captain did for Natlan, maybe they've been given a bit more leeway.
Huh. All the Fatui left in Natlan are probably the captain's subordinates. That basically makes them followers of one of Natlan's heroes. Still, once a Fatoos, always a Fatoos. Something seems off seeing them here. Let's go check it out.
And after all this praise I just gave for the game for not being so hate-bonery for the Fatui, I know it's a little bit early into the video for me to be making this kind of complaint, but you know what? YouTube is always looking to age-restrict their nonsense, and none of my content is meant for viewers under the age of 18, in my opinion, because I swear a lot, I use a little bit of vulgar terminology, and I'm going to talk about political terms that the youngins and non-voters aren't going to care about. But beyond that, we'll save it for later in the stream. The Truth of the Battle of Seven Colors. Where was I? Right. Fatui.
What are you guys doing here?
Paimon, why you gotta be so insinuating?
Following orders. If you have a problem, take it up with our employer.
Who's your employer? Also, I always find it funny how tall the Fatui skirmishers are.
Hey, what's with the attitude? Can the Fatui even work for a private employer?
I don't know. I don't know how their military structure works.
This is Grudok. I hired him to be my bodyguard in Natlan. As you can see, he's not the sociable type. I'm sorry for any offense.
Ah, so Fontanians are here.
My original plan was to hire someone from the local tribes, but a priest recommended Grudok and his squad.
A priest? There's priests in Fontaine?
I was told they were capable fighters and had the time to spare, so they fit the bill. It seems like the Fatui's reputation in Natlan is quite positive.
So that's what happened. Then you must be from Fontaine?
Precisely! Montluçon, at your service.
Montluçon.
I work in the publication business. And you two... Wait, you must be the Traveler and his fairy companion.
Oh, you know us?
We're kind of famous at this point. We're like famous in 5 regions at this point. 6 regions. I keep forgetting that Natlan is technically Act 5, but because Mondstadt is a prologue. Yeah, we're pretty well known in 6 nations at this point, Paimon. I don't know how much more famous you can get.
A golden-haired traveler with a floating companion. There's no mistake. Your exploits in Fontaine
Man,
have
imagine
all
if
the
Lumine
makings
had
of
a floating
best-selling
companion.
series.
how
I'd
we'd
be a
get mixed up
failure
for
of a
her all
book
the
merchant
time,
if
and
I
it would make the
couldn't
story much
recognize
more
you.
interesting. But no, they had to make her companion Dainsleif. Oh, you're a book merchant.
Wow, we're really famous at this point, Traveler.
It's truly my lucky day. I know this is sudden, but I was actually looking for you two. You see, I have a favor to ask.
So, you chased us all the way to Natlan? That's a little creepy.
You'll be generously rewarded, I promise you.
Ooh, Paimon, he said your favorite words.
Well, at least he got straight to the point. Should we hear what he has to say?
Something tells me we can't escape this one, and if the pay is good.
Alright, we'll hear your request.
You know the great shaman Citlali, right? I need her help with something.
That's why he wanted to know.
Chances of her helping a random stranger just because we asked?
With her personality, pretty slim.
Yeah, Citlali really doesn't like dealing with strangers.
I heard about that from other members of her tribe. But they told me if one person could convince her, it would be the golden-haired traveler.
Yep, makes sense to me.
If you manage it, I'll even double your pay.
Why do you need her help?
Oh yeah, we should definitely get to the bottom of that first.
It's kind of a long story, and there's tribal history involved, so you should hear it from an expert. Alia, if you could.
Of course.
Finally, we
I don't
find out
often
what your
have an
deal
eager
is.
audience for this kind of thing. Nice to meet you. The name's Allier. I'm a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute.
We are an honorary member of said research institute.
Unlike most researchers, I have a keen interest in ancient ruins. That's why I was invited to join Monsieur Montluçon's team. Have you heard of the legend of the great shaman Citlali?
Sounds familiar. She's the one that worked with the colors, right?
Yes. According to local records, she was a color mystic who lived over 200 years ago, and the most adept in her tribe at using that particular technique.
Isn't Citlali also over 200 years old?
Out of all of her exploits, her most celebrated is the Battle of Seven Colors. According to legend, the battle was triggered by an abyss invasion, one of the most brutal in Natlan's history, even from a greater historical perspective. Amazingly, Natlan was able to turn the tide despite being at an extreme disadvantage. The key to victory was none other than a color Citlali created on the battlefield.
That seems like a really odd story.
The color was extraordinary, illusory in appearance while also seeming to possess physical form. Legend has it that Citlali used the color to construct a magnificent maze on the battlefield
Is it a color or is it like a paint?
and trap all the enemies inside. This allowed her allies to launch a counterattack and ultimately
I feel like that was a
secure
weird sentence
victory.
break.
Anyway, that's the gist of it. We don't want to take up too much of your time.
Cool. But you haven't told us what you want exactly yet.
That story is the reason I came to Natlan. I often publish books about the history of other nations. They always end up faring well on the market. When I heard this story for the first time, I wanted to include it in my next collection, but historical records about Natlan aren't very detailed. We haven't been able to determine where the battle took place, or find any definitive evidence that it occurred at all.
Yeah, and what we learned with Baram last time we were here, because of how they record their legends and stories here, they record them in woven scroll with not a lot of text. It kind of means that these stories are pretty much only passed hand to mouth, more or less. So you're not going to find accurate details, even here.
Even within the Masters of the Nightwind, people dispute the legitimacy of the story. Some believe it to be a myth.
It's only 200 years ago. How much of a myth could it be if there's people that were alive back then?
If that were the case, the
That are
story
still
would
alive
not
today.
be fit for publication.
But if you're just including it in a story collection, why does it matter if it never happened?
Well, if it's a historical collection.
Well, you see, the slogan for the collection is Restoring the Truth of History. Naturally, I need it to be factual. That's why I'm here. The Masters of the Nightwind are said to have a tradition of recording past events, so I wanted to consult their records.
As I just got into, but sadly Ether did not, their records are woven scrolls. Not a lot of them have text. That being said, the woven scrolls that the Flower Feather clan had in Ochka Natlan were written, because we were able to read those.
But I was refused access to the Obsidian Altar. Application after application, and all I received were a few ordinary woven scrolls with nothing to offer. Honestly, I'm just trying to promote their history, and they make such a fuss.
Maybe we should talk to Baram.
According to my research, their scrolls are considered sacred relics in addition to historical records. Naturally, outsiders are rarely granted access. Not to mention, the scrolls we did get to review actually contain a huge amount of information. I just need more time, and I could...
We've been over this, Alier. There's no need to waste time on those scrolls when we have a better way.
I still think you should check out what you got, though.
Citlali, you mean?
Exactly. You're well aware, I'm sure, that Citlali has been alive for more than 200 years. That means she lived during the era of the Battle of Seven Colors.
Wow, he's actually on the same page as me.
If she agrees to be my consultant, then no other historical records are necessary.
Oh, that's what you want.
You just want her to explain for an interview, basically.
So, what do you say? I'll quadruple the pay if it helps sweeten the deal.
Quit doubling the pay, man. You're making me more suspicious of you.
Well, it's not that we don't want to help you.
We actually should go ask her, Paimon. We still have a duty to fulfill after all.
Oh, right. The duty the chief gave us has a lot to do with Wheat Sealing. Who knows? The Battle of Seven Colors might lead us in the right direction.
Maybe that was what was depicted on that mural.
All right, we'll help you convince Citlali. Just let us do the talking, okay?
Of course.
Go to Citlali's home. Do I know which one is her home? I didn't do the event where she was involved. That's so far away. So this is where Citlali lives. Man, I didn't realize she was so much of a recluse. Also, what's with all this paint spilled everywhere?
So, this is where the great shaman lives? A bit far from civilization, isn't it? I hope the person who pointed us in this direction wasn't mistaken.
For someone like Citlali, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Is this graffiti her work too? I wonder if it's a cultural practice. If I could just copy it down,
We're here for a reason, Alier. As agreed, you two can do the talking, and we'll wait for you here.
I don't know if you can copy it. This art style looks a little bit unique, Alier. I mean, that's clearly a paint bucket spilled down a staircase over there.
Okay, we'll go knock on the door. Hopefully she's not hungover.
I didn't even think about that, Paimon. Oh, now I'm worried.
Citlali? Are you there?
Knock,
We need your
knock.
help with something? Oh, no response. Maybe she's not home.
Let's try her other name. Oh, I forgot what her other name is.
Oh, Granny Eatsley? Are you home?
Oh, you mean that name. Okay, we knew that one. Doors thrown open. You are met with the pungent spell of alcohol.
If you're here to challenge me, book an appointment first.
Challenge you. Book an appointment. I'm gonna grab a thumbnail from that real quick. And of course she's gross and hungover. So Citlali's a real hermit, huh?
Traveler!
Oh, she recognized us, and that was a sharp jump. Okay, that's a thumbnail right there, too. We're saving all the game CGs. The door closes abruptly.
Looks like we came at a bad time.
Are you still there? Just come in. We can talk inside.
Well, at least we didn't get turned away.
Enter the home. It's gonna be spotless and clean compared to what we just saw, isn't it? That's gonna be hilarious if that's the case.
Huh. this is where Citlali lives.
It looks a lot cleaner than when we were just peeked in the door a minute ago.
I didn't have time to fully clean up the place. Complain if you want. Menial housework means nothing to a great shaman like myself.
I just realized that she's wearing practically a leotard.
Besides, in light
With that
novels,
giant
people who
woven
keep
skirt
everything
over
neat
it.
and tidy are always too boring to be the protagonists. Also, I'm not a hermit. I'm just above superficial rules of societal etiquette.
That's what's called a hermit, last I checked. There's malt liquor in that, isn't there?
She sure does care a lot about what we think of her.
Oh, and that spell I used to transfer my senses to you, you're not still, experiencing the side effects, are you?
Oh, she doesn't want us to know what she's thinking right now. That was so long ago, I almost forgot about that. Ooh, if it gives me the option to say yes, I will.
It's my duty as a great shaman to check that kind of thing.
Oh, you mean when we could hear your thoughts? Nope. It's been so long, we don't have to worry about that anymore, right?
Then why do I hear the traveler's thoughts in my head?
That sounds like a you problem.
What?
Oh, she heard me call her a hermit. That bothers her? I thought she was above superficial rules and societal etiquette.
I can still hear you, you know.
I apologize for offending you. I love her smug face reactions.
Don't bother. I'll find a way to fix it. First you hear my thoughts, now I'm hearing your thoughts. It was just a simple spell. I use it on you, and now it's on the fritz.
How long has this been in effect? Is there anything we've said near her between then and now that we should be concerned about?
Forget it. Just tell me why you're here.
Ooh, can I think why I'm here?
Well, someone asked us to ask you to be their consultant. They have questions about the history of Natlan.
So they asked the hero of Natlan to put in a good word? Sounds like they know I don't usually trouble myself with other people's problems.
The pay is really good.
Paimon, there's something in your eyes.
Doesn't matter. I'm busy.
She sure doesn't look busy. Paimon knew this wouldn't get us anywhere.
What if the request comes from me?
From you?
Yeah, we were given a sacred duty to help your tribe weave a special scroll.
Huh? So, you're the appointed ones this time?
I'm surprised you didn't know that already.
We were surprised too. After all, we have no idea how to weave a scroll like that. But with Chef Biram's help, we were able to make some progress.
Did she say Chef Biram? Did I hear that right?
But with Chef Biram's help, we were able to make some progress.
Did she misread the line as chef? Whoops.
But with Chef Biram's help, we still haven't succeeded, but we learned that the key to weaving the scroll is a special kind of color. The historical event those men want to ask about also involves color. If you help them, you might end up helping us too.
Paimon's not wrong. Which is really normal occurrence, all things considered. Just let that sink in real quick. Why is Citlali like one of the most expressive characters we've had in the game so far? Why can't we get characters like this more often?
She's giving us that face again. Did Paimon not explain things clearly?
I can't decide whether this twist is completely out of the blue or if it was foreshadowed all along.
Does that mean you won't help us?
Or does it involve what you're busy with?
I need to think about it.
Also, is that flowers for Princess Fischl sitting on her desk?
Then there's still hope.
Hey, what's the holdup? Just give us an answer already.
Oh, come on, Grudok. You don't have to be mean.
You agreed to let us do the talking!
Uh-oh. Grudok's about to get punched in the face, isn't he? Suddenly walks out. You rush after her. I think my face might have been covering that book on her desk. I'll compare it to the cover in a minute.
Stand down, Grudok. As your employer, if I tell you to wait, then you wait.
Understood.
You're the great shaman who's been alive for centuries? But you're so... Apologies for the disturbance. Grudok is a recent hire, so difficult to restrain sometimes.
You're lucky you didn't force Citlali's hand.
Well, since you're here, how about a discussion?
Do you have any idea who I am? Did you think Granny Eatsley would be fooled by your little performance? I have no intention of speaking to you. Your recent hire interrupted me right as I was about to make an important decision. Pull a trick like that again, and I'll make your lives a living horror novel, except 10 times worse. That's all I came out here to say.
Whoa.
She angry.
Traveler, we have a discussion to finish.
You live up to your name, Granny Itztli. I apologize for the offense. I'm just surprised the Battle of Seven Colors didn't pique your interest.
You're investigating the Battle of Seven Colors?
Ah, the Traveler didn't get to that part? Yes, I thought the Traveler could help me convince you. But, if I'm not mistaken, you have a personal interest in this matter, don't you? I heard that the great shaman Huitzilin was a friend of yours. You two must have been close. If I can resolve the controversy and prove the battle took place, I'll include it in my next collection. Then, all of Teyvat will learn the truth.
I wonder how much Teyvat knows about Natlan history at all, because it seems the archaic way that they record things. And I mean that in the most polite way possible. News doesn't travel out of here all that much, if at all.
With your support, your friend's heroic deeds will once again be known throughout the land. Inspiring, don't you think?
You'll be helping me fulfill my duty, and it would mean a lot to your tribe.
If this is really about that duty, then... fine. I'll help you.
I'm honored.
Save it. I agreed to help the Traveler, not you. You'll just have to leech what you can.
Oof.
Well, at least she agreed to help.
Looks like my friendship with Citlali came in handy after all. I never took her to be the heartless type anyway. She can still hear your thoughts, man.
Who are you calling heartless?
Not a problem. I always planned to work with the Traveler. So, did you directly experience any events of the battle? Do you have any idea where it took place? Can you think of any relics we could use to prove it?
Talk at me, why don't you?
Talk at me. I'd like to know too.
Fine. No, no, and no. I did live during the same era as her, but that doesn't mean we experienced the same events. I've lived a long time, but I'm not a walking encyclopedia. You decide the angle of your investigation, and I'll provide answers if I'm familiar with the subject.
All right. Even if you didn't witness the battle yourself, you still lived through that era. Your insights are very valuable. Alier, you had an idea about where to start, yes?
Darn, at this rate, it might have been easier just to get into contact with Malvika. Alright, no, she was dead at that point. Never mind. Is there anyone else who was alive 200 years ago that we should know about? Dainsleif, maybe? No, Farazan wasn't born yet. Nahida, maybe? Maybe Nahida knows? I don't know. Can Nahida access the ley lines in... Actually, the ley lines aren't connected. We kind of learned that recently in the Archon quest, that the Natlans and Leylands aren't connected to the rest. Which means there's probably no Irminsul data on anything in Natlan.
Oh, well, my plan was to consult the members of the tribe in charge of recording history.
Then, let's start there. Traveler, what do you say to officially working together? After all, it appears I can only get Miss Citlali's help through you.
Sounds good. Commission catches you in Natlan. Please, great shaman. Oh, straight into a cutscene.
You don't seem super invested in this whole thing, Citlali.
The Battle of Seven Colors is something I've only ever heard about. I know as much as anyone else in my tribe.
Crazy, considering you lived in the era and you knew the person that was involved.
But how? Weren't you alive when it happened?
I wasn't there when it took place, and she never told me about it. That's how.
How did the story get passed down?
But Molu Sol said the two of you were close friends. The battle was legendary. Why wouldn't Huitziling tell you about it?
Close friends? More like arch rivals. Something Montluçon would know if he actually did his research.
I bet the guy standing next to him did his research, though.
Did you see the graffiti outside my house? That's not my doing.
Oh. Arch rival indeed.
All students from Huitziling's School of Shamanism must pass an extremely difficult trial before graduation, defeating me in battle. Those graffiti drawings are how they challenge me.
Wait, what?
Of course, none of them ever succeeded.
Cool, so that's why there's no more shamans in that generation.
So, after Huitziling's death, her students had no choice but to modify the requirement. Instead of defeating me, all they have to do now is last long enough.
Yeah, that sounds like a necessary change.
As my rival, Huitziling only had one achievement that surpassed my own. And that was the Battle of Seven Colors. I can only assume she had some kind of secret technique at her disposal. It makes perfect sense that she kept it from me. I'm a fast learner. Telling me about the technique is no different than handing it to me on a silver platter. As if she would give away her one advantage.
Oh, that makes sense.
Anyway, all of that is secondary. Like I said, I'm only here to help you fulfill your duty.
So Citlali is doing this all for me, eh? Stop doing that, Aether. She can read your mind.
Don't misunderstand. This duty is important for my tribe, too. A great shaman should do her part to see it done.
Great shaman should also be a bit more organized. What did I just say, Aether?
Excuse you? I fail to see what housekeeping has to do with my duty as a shaman. Why is it that you're the one whose thoughts are exposed, but I'm still the one suffering? I need to get to the bottom of this.
Apparently there's like a bunch of running memes in the Toho community about people doing exactly what Aether's doing to Satori. Oh, you're gonna read my mind? Alright, get ready to hear dirty and annoying thoughts. I'm projecting evil thoughts into your mind right now. Evil thoughts. Paimon.
Excuse me, great shaman, but we have a situation over here. We could really use your help.
Please, great shaman.
Okay.
So what are the other shamans in the city, in the Masters of the Nightwind like?
Of course the Battle of Seven Colors happened. The woven scroll proves it. Huitzilin used a mysterious color to construct a maze and trap the enemies inside.
That's just your interpretation. There's more than one way to understand that scroll. Besides, constructing a maze out of color is ridiculous.
That's what I said.
Huitzilin was one of the most powerful shamans of her time. She definitely could have pulled it off.
That's the biggest problem. She had students. Why not pass it down? A technique that powerful? And no shaman since has ever used it?
Her students are keeping it a secret, of course. If you knew a technique like that, you'd be a fool to show it to just anyone.
This is all hearsay.
Oh, I didn't mean to cause an argument. I just wanted to ask, is there anything we can use to prove the battle took place?
Of course it took place. Why would you need to prove it?
To settle arguments like you two were just having.
You'll have to excuse him. Some people in our tribe insist on clinging to outdated views of history. I'd give up now if I were you. It only gets more ridiculous from here.
Man, we had to meet the most sensible person in all of Natlan. Then again, I had a lot of praise for Baram.
Please don't fight.
Allier, I feel your
So
pain.
the battle really is controversial.
Am I the outdated one? Kids these days can't find anything better to argue about?
These arguments are precisely why I hesitate to include this story in my collection. Neither side was able to offer anything useful. What should we do?
Wheatsealing was a passionate teacher. We were opposites in that sense. The
Passionate?
technique she used in the battle must have been her masterpiece. There's every reason to pass it on. Still, if the technique is powerful enough to single-handedly stop an invasion, it also makes sense that her disciples would keep it a secret.
On, it killed her. She died doing it. And it couldn't be passed on. Or she didn't want it to be passed on because you would have to sacrifice your life for it to work. Who knows? Those are my spitball theories.
We should check with the students from her school. If we can confirm the technique exists, we can deduce certain things about the battle.
But as far as I know, most of the shamans from her school occupy high positions in the tribe. Not the type of people outsiders like us can speak to on a whim.
Right. The obsidian altar is off limits to you. But, if I go...
Is there a problem?
Most of Wheatsealing students are respected priests in the tribe. But that means they had to go through me. Or try, at least. I, of course, humiliated them from a young age.
That doesn't inspire confidence in your ability to talk to them.
Those who hold the position now are the ones who lasted long enough before I wiped the floor with them. If I show up without warning, they'll run for dear life. That's not gonna get us any answers.
Yeah, Paimon can see it now.
Run for dear life. It's like... No, Aether! Mind reading!
Hey, don't jump to conclusions. That was just a metaphor.
I'll make sure they don't run away. Who better to fend off a tyrant than a hero of Natlan?
Only you have the guts to joke like that with me, traveler. Fine, I said I'd help, so I'll help. But don't blame me if it goes wrong.
Where are you going, Paimon?
Alright, the rest of you can wait for us here.
We appreciate the help.
You okay, Allier?
Natlan's history is full of intriguing mysteries. It's too bad I can't talk to those priests myself.
I really like you, Allier. I hope you get some redemption by the end of this quest line. Rudok.
Got a problem? Like I said, take it up with my employer.
Boy, you got an attitude problem.
Miss Citlali seems rather reluctant to help. Maybe you could...
Yeah, not gonna happen. I'm doing my best here.
Oh, are you in the middle of a ceremony?
Granny Eatsley?
Hello.
What is she doing here?
A wasted.
Did some coward not show up after challenging her to a fight?
Man, she wasn't kidding. They all look terrified.
Or is she here to officially take over the tribe?
She can do that, right? She can't do that, right?
Whoa. It's like they really do see her as some kind of tyrant.
No matter what, we'll defend our dignity as priests to the end.
Ugh, you talk a big game for someone who lost to me the most out of the entire priesthood.
What?
Sure. Humiliate the
All
man.
I want is to ask some questions.
So, you're here to interrogate us?
More or less.
Someone didn't sit pretty for their beating? Is that it? You want their name, don't you?
How badly did you beat these people up again?
We should just run!
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, with the hero of Natlan here, Granny Citlali will be on her best behavior.
Sure, whatever you say.
Oh, it's the Traveler and his companion. That does make me feel better. How can we help you?
That does make me feel better.
We wanted to ask about the technique you inherited from Huitziling.
So you can eradicate our school once and for all?
Disciples of our school have challenged her year after year, just as our master instructed. Sounds like she's finally had enough.
Well, you're not wrong.
If we want to protect our legacy, one of us needs to run.
You're the youngest one here.
Not this again. Just how much did you traumatize them, Citlali?
She beat them in a duel, so what? There's no reason to be this terrified. Citlali is someone worthy of love and respect. You're gonna embarrass her. You're gonna make her blush.
Hey! You can't just say whatever you want just because it's in your head. I'm Granny Citlali. A mere mention of my name and kids burst into tears. Love and respect? No one has the guts for that.
What about Aurora? Well, I do.
You know what? Forget about your duty. We really need to fix this mind-reading situation.
I think it was funnier when we were hearing her thoughts, to be honest. But this is pretty funny, too.
Sorry to disappoint, but if you're here to question whether we're qualified to inherit our master's legacy, we're not going down without a fight.
We're not getting anywhere. What should we do, Traveler?
Let me think. No, don't think. People listen to you when you do that. Elder Tlapo!
Huh? Oh, it's you.
Elder Tlapo! Oh, we must have disturbed your meditation. Our deepest apologies. Please forgive us.
I should refill my water bottle.
Did Elder Tlapo just issue a declaration?
From what I can tell, in a single word, the message was... friend?
Is Elder Tlapo telling us to treat Granny Citlali as a friend?
That's not possible, is it?
I thought they were looking at us.
You forget yourselves, my friends. You are esteemed priests of our tribe.
Oh, thank God.
Where
Finally
are your
someone
manners?
sensible has shown up. Someone so sensible that they can't fit fully on screen.
But Chief.
I didn't expect to see you here, great shaman. My sincere apologies for the lack of hospitality.
Well, I wasn't exactly planning to come to this crowded place. So you can save the pleasantries, Chief. I'd rather get this over with.
Understood. Now, as successors of Huitziling, I understand your friction with Granny Citlali. However, Elder Tlapo's declarations have always showed us the correct path. You would do well to respect his counsel. So, mind your manners and allow Granny Citlali to ask her questions.
Good thing Elder Tlapo and Chief Biram are on our side.
You called him Chef Biram earlier, though. Talk to Citlali.
Hi there, Elder Tlapo.
It's been a while.
Hey, he seems pretty happy to see us.
He's the one who put you in charge of the scroll, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Elder Tlapo appointed us to the task.
Elder Tlapo, huh? He's still Claw to me.
How old do these things live to be?
Hey, don't pull that cutesy stuff with me. You're an Iktomi-Sor Elder now. You occupy an eminent and important position within the tribe.
So, you already know each other?
Claw was only this big when we first met. He was Huitziling's Saurian companion back then. She kept dragging him to my place, so over time, we got to know each other.
Sounds like you and Huitziling were close.
She only came to my place to fight me. But at the same time, she always claimed to be my friend. She was the only one who dared to try, at least.
Well, you've lived a long time. You've probably made a bunch of friends over the years, right?
Oh no, Paimon, that's an obvious trap question.
The more time you have, the more friends you lose.
Oof.
Oh,
We're 500, by the way.
Anyway, let's get back to business. I hate talking about the past. Oh, 200 years and you still haven't given up, Claw? I still haven't made up my mind, so you should head back. Traveler, Paimon, let's go.
What did Elder Tlapo want from you? Please, great shaman.
Hey there, Chief Biram.
Hello, Biram.
Oh, wait. We haven't reached out since the last time we failed the task, huh?
I'm just grateful you haven't forgotten that duty.
Actually, we have good news. We found another clue.
I'm all ears.
It's the Battle of Seven Colors.
Huitzilin's claim to fame? That sounds promising. But the battle took place hundreds of years ago. An investigation is bound to be difficult.
True, but Granny Eatsterly promised to help.
Is that so? Huh. I've tried seeking her help in the past, but I never managed to coax her out. You should cherish this opportunity.
Hey, don't complain. None of the previous chiefs succeeded either.
How many chiefs have there been in the last 200 years?
Forgive me. That wasn't my intention. It was a comment on my own failings.
You see why I love this guy? He's so honest and to the point.
Paimon said you've been trying to figure out how to weave the special scroll.
It is my duty, great shaman.
Why bother? The scrolls always end up completed on time. So what's the point of figuring it out for yourself?
I mean, he's already explained this to us, but I guess we'll hear it again for your sake.
If I may, this task concerns the history of Natlan as a whole. And in many ways, history is the memory of a people. Memory is sacred to our tribe. I'm sure a great shaman understands that better than a humble junior like myself. Something this important cannot be left to baseless rumors. I know you don't concern yourself with the daily affairs of the tribe, Granny Eatsterly. Even so, as a priestess, I trust you wouldn't leave something like that to chance.
I get your point.
Something on your mind, Citlali?
Of course. The one time I wish you could read my mind, it doesn't work.
Chief referred to himself as a humble junior. Maybe Citlali's worried she looks old. He says with a hand on his chin smugly.
No, that's not it.
Huh?
It's not important. Rest assured, Biram, with my help, the Traveler and Paimon will definitely be able to complete the task.
That being said, I think it's kind of sad that Paimon's not included in the loop here. It was really funny when both of us were hearing Citlali's thoughts.
You have my thanks then.
Love that guy.
If you run into any more problems, I'm always willing to help.
You got it, big guy. Alright, now we can interrogate the priests. I mean, ask them politely for information.
Huh. So are you here to test whether we're qualified to inherit Master Huitzilin's legacy?
You've already been tested, haven't you? Well, frankly speaking, I don't think any of you are qualified.
Oof. She went out and said it.
But that's not why I'm here. All you need to do is be good and answer my questions.
Fine. Ask away.
You've heard of the Battle of Seven Colors, right?
Of course. It's our master's claim to fame. An immortal legend inscribed in the very history of our tribe.
Then I'm sure you know there are those who question whether it actually occurred.
I did hear people arguing about that the other day.
It's disgraceful.
Hey, that's
How
Oleg's
can they
VA.
question something like that?
It doesn't surprise me. Natlan has had more tourism lately. A lot of people have started getting strange ideas after interacting with Outlanders. After all, everyone who took part in the battle has returned to the ley lines. Without witnesses, it's hard to refute detractors.
Well, it just so happens the questions I want to ask are directly related to the legitimacy of this battle.
Listen, we know you were rivals, but do you really have to question her legacy?
You think she's like you? Someone who can't survive a little scrutiny?
No, of course not.
Then let me finish. During the battle, Citlali most likely used a technique powerful enough to turn the tides of war. I'm sure she was very proud of it. Proud enough to pass it on to her disciples. So, which one of you inherited that technique?
No one. Yep, I guessed correctly.
I don't think any of us have heard of it.
Listen, I'm not trying to take it for myself, so be honest. With or without it, I can wipe the floor with any of you.
Yeah, no objections there.
No
but
objections.
I'm telling the truth. None of us have ever heard of that technique.
What's wrong with her? Why would she let it go extinct?
Master's body of work is massive. No one student could hope to learn all her techniques. Mastering just a few already takes a lot of effort. Master had no choice but to recruit many students, split up what she knew into different portions, and pass it down through various individuals.
I see. So that's why she took on so many more students than Citlali did. She just had so much stuff.
So even though we see ourselves as representatives of Citlali's school of shamanism, what we know isn't the sum of her legacy. Actually, I know of a shaman family that inherited some of Master's techniques. The family fell on hard times and lost the right to the priesthood. Still could be worth a shot.
But if they inherited Citlali's secret techniques, shouldn't the family be thriving?
Good point. Good counterpoint.
Well, it's the only thing I can think of.
All right, give me their address.
I'll mark it out on your map.
To be honest, I'm not optimistic about the future of this investigation.
I'm not optimistic either.
That's because the request came from you. You don't know the power of your own words, do you?
I kind of do, actually. If anything, we're taking full advantage of them. Well, this house is just right in the middle of town. How badly could they be doing? Oh, never mind. It wants to meet with Mutsalon. Gotta meet up with these guys first.
Proving the legitimacy of this battle seems more hopeless by the second.
Nothing we can do about that.
Well, even if our investigation ultimately proves the legend to be false, that's still a worthwhile result. Although I'm here for business purposes, I have a personal interest in this as well. I'm drawn to matters of historical truth.
That's exactly why I chose to follow you, Monsieur Montluçon.
Listen, I'm just updating you on the situation, not asking for your opinion. I don't really care whether you continue your investigation.
So harsh.
And Traveler, you came to me for help with your scroll weaving duty, right? You thought looking into the Battle of Seven Colors could give you answers. That's understandable. But based on our progress, I'd say this is a dead end. Instead of wasting time, you might consider taking a different approach. I'll try to think of another way to help you.
Respected traveler, let's not forget about the compensation I promised. You shall have it in full. Extra, if that's what it takes.
I think this investigation could help you too, Citlali.
What makes you say that?
Because it has to do with Mutsulin's past.
Yeah, based on what you've told us so far, it kinda seems like there's unresolved tension between you two.
You think so?
Well, we don't know the full story, so we're just posturing a guess at this point.
She claimed to be your friend, but picked fights with you non-stop, and never told you about her biggest accomplishment. By figuring out the truth behind the battle, maybe we can finally help you get closure.
Closure? I'd say we're 200 years too late. But fine, if you want to keep investigating, be my guest.
If anything, you should have investigated this 200 years ago.
That's wonderful news.
Alright, let's go visit the shaman family!
Alright, where do they live? Please tell me it's not out of the way. Oh, it is in town. That is literally right there.
Hello, are you a shaman?
They probably even heard us. Shaman?
Yep, that's me. Huh? Granny Eatsley?
And he's gone.
Get up! In a crowded market like this, the only person who should be trying to hide is me.
My apologies. Ever since my grandfather's generation, the shamans of my family have given up on passing your trial, Granny Eatsley. Have we offended you in some other capacity?
Man, this is generational trauma at this point.
He's never even met you, and he's afraid of you.
Whenever I misbehaved as a kid, Grandpa would tell me about the thrashing he received from Granny Eatsley. I still get nightmares about it sometimes.
Wonder what Citlali looks like in those nightmares. Traveler. Ether. What did I tell you? No think. Head empty. Head empty.
Hey, don't get any funny ideas. This was your idea, remember? Keep asking your questions. I'm going to find somewhere quiet to wait.
Okay, so your family studied under Citlali, right?
Yes, although that pretty much ended with my grandfather's generation, unfortunately. The techniques my family learned from Citlali didn't have much practical use in terms of tribal affairs, so during my grandfather's time, we quit the priesthood. Turns out, shaman techniques aren't that useful outside the priesthood either. So over time, we abandoned them altogether. Of course, it's possible that we were just too foolish to understand the true power of those teachings. After all, Citlali was a genius. None of her students have been able to fully reproduce her talent.
Do you know which techniques were passed on to your family?
I'm not sure. As a kid, I remember hearing my grandfather talk about them, but it's not like I can use them myself.
Just think about it for a sec. Do you remember anything about a technique that can decide the outcome of a battle?
Decide the outcome of a battle? No, I don't remember anything like that. Besides, my family wasn't really known for our talent. If a technique like that exists, I doubt Citlali would pass it on to us. You might have better luck asking one of the priests. They're descendants of Citlali's most gifted students.
Well, looks like we're back where we started.
Still no definitive evidence the Battle of Seven Colors took place. Alier, do you think we have enough to draw a conclusion?
All we have are non-witness accounts. We could put together an interview, but that's not going to hold up in academic circles.
Then we have to keep going.
Oh, you're investigating the Battle of Seven Colors?
Oh, you have info on that?
Yeah, you know about it?
Not a lot, but there's something special about my family. In addition to shaman techniques, Citlali's stories were passed down to us as well.
Oh, that's actually big.
Say what you want about my ancestors' dedication to shamanism, but they definitely paid attention to those stories. And of course, the Battle of Seven Colors is the most exciting story of them all.
We don't need another story. We need something concrete. Does no one in your tribe understand that?
They do. At least Baram does.
I'm not sure if this is helpful, but the story passed down in my family is a little different from the one told in the tribe.
Really?
Well,
How so?
It's Citlali's personal account of the events, so it's a lot more detailed. For example, in the version I heard, the battle took place in a location known as Chico Mostuk Cave.
What?
That means you can tell us where to find it. Have you ever been to this place?
Unfortunately not.
I studied maps of Natlan before we left, Monsieur Montluçon. I don't remember ever seeing such a name.
Could your ancestors be mistaken, Mr. Shaman?
It's also the name of the place could have changed over time. It's been 200 years.
It's unlikely. My family may have let the shamanism side of things fall by the wayside, but we're serious about these stories. In the words of my grandfather, some things deserve to be passed down more than secret arts.
If Whitzelin's version of events differs so much from the general understanding, that makes it even more likely the battle is completely made up.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Oh, hold on. You mentioned the Chico Mostek cave?
Oh, yes? Can I clear something up for you?
It's been more than 200 years. Huh. I never thought I'd hear that name again.
What do you mean?
What if it turns out that the name of that cave is her house?
That location is now known as the Valley of Fog. The Chico Mostek cave is what it was called 200 years ago.
Precisely when Huitziling was alive. That means, Monsieur Montluçon, we can confirm the original site of the battle. Once we get there, the evidence we need should be at our fingertips.
Just when we thought all hope was lost. I never doubted you, great shaman. Allow me to present you with a gift as thanks.
Save it. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me.
Just accept the gift, Citlali. You've earned it.
Wait, Mr. Montluçon works in publishing. You're a huge fan of light novels, right, Citlali? Maybe he could get you some that are out of print.
When did we learn that? I know it's in her Idols, and I've heard other people mention it in passing, but when did the Traveler and Paimon learn? I'm guessing it was in that event I skipped.
Really?
Oh wow, she's suddenly interested all of a sudden.
Out of print, huh? Sure. Do you have any in mind?
Well, if we're talking collectibles, then the first edition of Shogun Almighty Reborn as Raiden with unlimited power is a must.
Oh god. Oh god, that one.
It's the first major hit of the isekai genre. Several editions have gone to print, but copies of the first edition are exceedingly rare and valuable.
I see.
There's also its sister work, Pretty Please Kitsune Guji. It was Yai Publishing House's attempt at gauging the new market trends.
I think we have a copy of that one lying around,
It's opened
actually.
the door to a new genre after readers grew tired of isekais. The sales speak for themselves. Actually, Yai Publishing House released a limited edition not too long ago, but it's almost impossible to get. Anyway, I'll take those two.
Sorry, I'm not sure I caught all that. What were the titles again? Reborn as Kitsune Guji?
No, that's a third book. That one's different.
These two titles are among the most successful and well-known works in the entire industry. You're telling me, as someone who works in publishing, you've never heard of them?
That makes me very suspicious of him for sure.
I'm a merchant from Fontaine, after all. Regarding this particular genre from Inazuma, I'm afraid I lack your level of expertise.
That's a fair counterpoint.
Amateur.
Amateur. Oh, the amateurs meme. Just leave the books to me. Don't forget about our pay, though.
Of course. Sounds like a perfect arrangement. Now, there's no time to waste. We should head to the site of the battle right away.
We do know the head of Yai Publishing, though. Oh, now we just gotta look. Now that Natlan's got this whole thing and people can leave Natlan, maybe we'll get an event in Inazuma where Citlali shows up.
Once we get there, it'll take a bit more work to determine the actual location. Right now, all we have is a general idea.
Well, I'm sure Miss Citlali can help us with that.
Have you even looked at the time? It's already evening, and I have important plans tonight. You expect me to work through the night?
Well, what do you think, Traveler?
Let's break for the day and meet back up tomorrow. Battlefield's not going anywhere.
Okay, we'll find a place to rest for the night. When should we meet tomorrow?
He's persistent, huh?
What do you think?
How about noon?
Do we have to wait that long?
It is the middle of the day.
Great shamans have important matters to attend to in the morning.
I guess if she wants to sleep in. I told you. I told you. Stop thinking out loud.
That's only because I have important tasks to complete at night.
Paimon left out of the loop.
All right, as Miss Citlali instructed. Let's meet back up tomorrow at noon. We'll be waiting at the exit of the tribal settlement.
Bye, Allier. I hope you stay safe. Where do you think you two are going?
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, is Granny Eatsley satisfied with my answer?
Yeah, of course. You really helped us out.
Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't offend her somehow.
You're really that scared of her?
She's actually really nice. She's just awkward in social situations.
To be honest, Granny Eatsley almost never interacts with ordinary tribespeople like us. Everything we know about her comes from rumors. She's a powerful shaman who's lived for over 200 years. As a great hero, you're probably the only one who isn't intimidated by her.
Oh, I'm intimidated by her. But luckily, unlike y'all folk, I have this thing called a screen between me and her.
Well, thanks for today, Citlali.
Yep. Wanna grab a meal? My treat.
That's quite considerate of you. All right, let's grab a few drinks. Just like last time.
Uh-oh. I regret everything.
Wait, didn't you say you had important plans tonight?
What did you think I meant?
Does that mean you've gone drinking every night for the past 200 years? Now Paimon's worried about your health.
Same place?
No, I've had enough socializing for one day. I know somewhere quiet. We can just buy some drinks and head over.
Okay.
Which will also give us a chance to solve the mind reading issue. Considering the necessary spell work, I'd rather do it in private.
Why do I have a bad feeling that she's gonna get rid of her ability to hear our thoughts, but it's just gonna immediately flip it back? That being said, that is something important that does need to get done. Figured it out.
Is this the place?
No, further up.
Further up?
Further up?
Me and Paimon sharing that brain cell again. Takes you to a hot air balloon.
Whoa, this is like a secret base.
Sometimes I want the fresh air, but not the company. So I come here. Let's see if my stash is still here. Ah, great! The halberd crest birds didn't eat my snacks.
This feels like a really weird place to have drinks.
Now for the mind reading issue. Give me your hand.
Just like last time?
It might take a little longer, actually. I just need to share my senses, make a clean break.
Should you have had that drink first?
And that should do it, right?
This really is a one-of-a-kind view. That must be why Citlali likes to come here.
You're not wrong. Hold on. Why do I still hear you in my head?
No idea.
Oh, did I not separate our senses completely? Maybe using my palm isn't enough? Close your eyes.
Touching heads. There we go.
Oh, please work, please work. A great shaman should be able to handle this.
Oh no, I can hear her thoughts now. I called it. I'm psychic.
Okay, what about now?
I think I heard something. It sounded like your thoughts.
Huh? And now?
It's gone.
Huh. Whenever I try to remove the effect, it just flips direction and gets worse.
Was it Citlali's forehead just now? It's really warm.
That was just to help with the spell. Ah, shoot. I still hear you.
Okay. Stop drinking. That's definitely not helping your cognitive function.
For a human soul, to lose the boundaries of the mind is to drown in the sea of consciousness. without a concept of self.
Ooh, tacos. There's tacos over there.
Wait, that sounds bad.
I read that in a light novel. When it comes to the real world, I think it's pretty accurate.
Makes sense to me.
Is Citlali drunk? She's not making much sense.
I think I understand her pretty fine.
Anyway, we'll just have to leave it for now.
Hearing the traveler's thoughts isn't that bad, right? You should just tease him. That's what Paimon would do.
That's what Paimon would do.
It's just... I'm not good at this. I'm not used to being close to people. Sorry, I said we could be friends, but I guess I'm not ready. I'm used to being Granny Eatsley. Someone intimidating, someone people are scared to approach. I don't have to deal with people that way.
Why live like that? I think we already know. She mentioned it earlier. In 200 years, you lose a lot of friends.
Yeah, Paimon's been wondering. Why do you insist on living so far away? You could easily become a leader of your tribe. Someone everyone loves and respects.
When you live as long as me, a person is like a flower.
Slowly wilting.
The color draws you in. You water it to see it bloom. It rewards you with its fragrance. But it doesn't last. With the passing of the seasons, everything withers away. You can try to water it, but it will never bloom again. Even if the same plot of soil is covered in flowers the following year, the one you remember won't be there. That's just how it is. Most of the people in my life will be gone one day, just like a flower.
How long will you live? Just a reminder that we're 500.
Getting close means losing friend after friend for hundreds of years. Until the weight of their memories crushes my soul.
And then they also look at Capitano, Mr. Immortal over there.
If people don't care about me, then I don't have to care about them.
That's not how that works.
The people in my memories are nothing more than fleeting strangers.
That makes me more sad and more depressed than if they were my friends and they died.
Citlali.
Loneliness is crushing. My approach is different. I choose to remember everyone.
You won't live as long as me, so you don't have to worry about that.
I actually might have a long lifespan. I have some truly ancient memories.
Really?
I'm older than you.
Then you should understand. Nearly everyone you know will be gone one day.
All the more reason to remember them then.
Traveler?
Uh-oh. I have a friend who only lives in my memories now. In fact, you could say my memories are the sole proof that she existed in this world. You talking about your sister or someone else? Are we getting Traveler lore? So sometimes I tell myself, as long as I remember every single friend, they will never truly die. Instead, they will live on in the world of my memories. When friends create memories together, there's always something to hold on to. So if you still need time, let me choose to remember you first. Okay, she's drunk.
Is something wrong?
Sorry, Paimon, we're leaving you out of the loop again.
Stupid mind-reading side effect won't go away. It's not like I want to hear you complain about me all the time.
Oh, are you hearing Paimon's memories now, too?
Okay, she's definitely drunk. Citlali, maybe take it easy? At this rate, you might sleep past noon tomorrow.
I'm not drunk. I remember everything the traveler said. Just gotta think of a response. I'll think of something.
She's blushing. Or drunk, I can't tell.
Uh-oh, not this again. Is she asleep?
Maybe she drinks so she can hide her blush with the drunk face.
I'm fine. Can get home by myself.
I kind of doubt
Is
that.
she talking in her sleep or talking to us? She seems kind of out of it.
Bye. Gonna
Whoop.
walk back
There she goes.
alone.
She doesn't
Need
need us.
some time to think.
Well, she doesn't need to worry about us to worry about her. She's always been like this. Please, great shaman. Seven-Hued Ruins. This is a very interesting place that I have no clue why it's up here. I just realized we're supposed to meet up at noon tomorrow, but it says wait until 11 to 13 the next day. Go to the agreed location. I feel like we should go wake up Citlali first.
This should be the place we decided to meet yesterday. Who knows if Citlali will show up on time. She drank so much last night, she might not even be up yet.
Ahem.
Citlali!
No need to sound so surprised. Drinking is just a way to pass the time. I mastered the art of moderation long ago.
Was that moderation we saw last night?
Last night doesn't count. It was a minor slip-up, that's all. Anyway, I gave everything a lot of thought, and I think you're right about something. The Battle of Seven Colors holds the key to a lot of the answers I've been searching for.
Really?
So that's why you're here so early.
Traveler, great shaman. Sorry to keep you waiting. Shall we head out?
There's some more Fatui guards this time. Your entourage is getting bigger.
Just follow me. I'll confirm the location myself.
Of course.
I have a bad feeling about this.
This should be it.
Is it going to be a domain?
The battlefield is inside this place.
That could explain a lot of our academic questions.
Don't lose focus. Once we get to the actual site of the battle, all the evidence needed for publication will be at our fingertips.
Everyone ready?
Let's go. Alright. Enter the ruins of the Battle of Seven Colors. Ice Anima. Oh, my neck. That's what Ting-Yun said.
So the Abyss invaded through a cave like this?
When the Abyss first began to corrode the ley lines, they took every opening they could get.
All the items here should be useful for our research.
You're not to touch a single one without my nod of approval.
I don't support invasive excavation techniques either.
Allier, I love you.
Ah, of course. I'll defer to the experts on this matter. Well, shall we continue?
I have a bad feeling Dottore is involved. Because Dottore is doing some suspicious things nearby Natlan.
There are weapons here from every tribe in Natlan. The battle must have encompassed the entire nation.
Sounds like we're getting closer to what the legend describes. But all we can really say is that a battle took place here. There's still no evidence of any colors or some elaborate maze.
Wow, you're really invested in the Battle of Seven Colors.
Well, it's the reason I came to Natlan in the first place. Grudok, send some of your men to search the area. We might miss something all grouped together like this. I'd like to cover all our bases.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all.
All the bases. You got it.
Don't jump to conclusions. Of course this isn't the site of the actual battle. We have to keep
going. Got it. Oh, here we go. She's shooting a pillow? Oh no, she's sitting on a pillow. Okay, she is throwing pillows. Never mind. How do you work? Calls upon secret arts, passed down, enters aiming mode after holding, consumes a certain amount of stamina to call forth a frost star, deals cryo damage. Dawnfrost Dark Star. Invoking secret pacts passed down by her tribe over millennia, Citlali deploys an opal shield, calls forth obsidian Tisimitl, its papa, a creature that is reputedly terrifying beyond compare. Dealing Night Soul aligned AoE cryo damage, the opal shield's damage absorption scales off of Citlali's elemental mastery, absorbs cryo damage within 250% efficiency, so she's a shielder. When its papa leaves the field, Citlali exits the Night Soul Blessing state. Its papa. Its papa will follow the character. If Citlali has at least 50 Night Soul points, its papa enters the open fire state and continues to consume Night Soul points. Whip up a frost, false storm, that follows the character and attacks. Cryo damage. When Citlali's Night Soul points are fully depleted, its papa's opal fire state also ends. Summon allies from the starry skies. Why is allies in quotes? And the vast earth, hurling forth an ice storm to bombard the area in front and dealing Night Soul aligned AoE cryo damage, restores a set amount of Night Soul points. For Citlali, also summons Spirit Vessel Skull. Near a maximum of 3 opponents with an AoE within 1 skull for each opponent. Spirit Vessel Skulls explode after some time, dealing Night Soul. Okay, cool. While its papa is on the field, after nearby party members trigger the frozen and melt reactions, Pyro and Hydro Res opponents will be affected by that reaction. Interesting. So she cares about freeze and melt. Star Garments. During the elemental skill down for Star Trek, its papa's frozen storm damage is increased by 90% of Citlali's elemental mastery. That's pretty good. Elemental Burst, Edict of Entwined Splendor. Ice Storm damage increased by 1200%. So she scales off EM. She's an EM shielder. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Smoke and Mirrors, Flowing Winds. While in an area with phlogiston mechanics, Natlan Night Soul transmission, Citlali, the currently high enough in the air, and following will trigger, which Citlali will leap up and high and will deploy the white obsidian to float in the air. Oh, is that what she did when she left the drinking? Holding aiming mode will cause Citlali to enter the spirit speaker state, which will allow her to interact with Night Soul Graffiti. Oh, so she can do the thingy that what they're called, the Ictomosaurs use. Additionally, holding the jump button will cause Citlali to consume 75 stamina and leap in areas where Natlan was phlogiston mechanics were present. Citlali can prioritize consuming 5 phlogiston leap. Oh, we gotta try that. Hang on. Hold the jump button. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. 75 stamina to do that. I am very tempted to pull for this character. Very tempted. Though I probably won't. We're saving for Sneznaya. We're saving for Puccinella.
Here's to a life where the drinks keep flowing and the Mora keeps rolling.
Okay, so that's just a quote, an idle quote, huh?
This wall is in our way!
I might have an idea. Traveler, try removing that sphere.
Okay, let us walk through.
Whoa, we passed straight through! What was that? Some kind of color magic?
It's very close to the technique Citlali might have used.
Okay, there's something fishy going on here. Just in case.
That's it? Doesn't quite compare to the scale described in the legend.
Still, what a terrific archaeological find.
Enough chit-chat. We should keep going. The deeper we go, the more we'll find.
Whatever you say. We flying. We fly now. One of the reasons I don't want to pull for Natlan characters is because I do not...
Hold on. If we step here, we might fall through.
You mean
I-
there are traps in here?
Remember how we were able to pass through the wall just now? It must have been because, on our person, we were carrying the same color as the wall. Let's put the spear down and see what happens.
As I was saying before Citlali interrupted me, I really don't like the phlogiston mechanics. Because they're region locked.
Oh,
It's the
you're
same
right.
reason
We can
I
keep
didn't
going
like the
now.
Numa Wisa mechanics either.
Like smoke.
Okay, looks like we're going somewhere different. Where are we?
Wait, what was that? What is this place?
Look! A maze made of colors.
It's real. I can't believe it.
Hold on. The quality of this space. This isn't reality. It's a realm of memory.
Huh?
Is this the Night Kingdom?
No. This is a space constructed using memories as a medium. The principle is similar, but the two are not the same.
Correct?
Uh-oh.
Wheat ceiling?
What?
No. It's just a trace of her consciousness left behind after creating this space.
Friends, this is my question to you. What is our strongest weapon against the Abyss? In my opinion, it's memory. After all, is it not after losing the capacity for memory, love, and compassion that our enemies fell to the Abyss? That is why, with our memories, we possess a power the Abyss cannot hope to match. I have discovered the perfect medium for us to wield that weapon. You know it as color. The more cherished the memory, the more vivid its color. As memories disappear, their color fades first. That is why color is the best vehicle to wield the power of memory.
Interesting. This must have to do with the scroll weaving, too, because you can literally insert memory as color into the scroll.
Guided by vibrant colors, your capacity for memory is what will allow you to navigate this maze. Without that capacity, enemies will fail to cross the barrier in front of them and be trapped here for eternity.
Uh-oh. I feel bad for these people that are going to get trapped here. People are definitely about to get trapped here.
So, be brave, my friends, and march forward.
Any ideas, Citlali?
Sounds like she left a tutorial. Not surprising. She always did have to handhold her talentless students. Follow me.
I really, really hope that Montola and those Fatui aren't going to try anything. I would hate for random people to get just trapped in an endless maze forever. Haha.
Take me up.
They really want you to use Citlali here. So she basically has the Ictimosaur ability, so she can just kind of fly.
Monsters here too?
Abyss creatures. Likely trapped here for some time. Looks like a few monsters made it out of the battle all those years ago.
What's with these color-changing blocks? You and Citlali fell through all of a sudden. You scared Paimon half to death.
Must be one of the mechanics of the maze. I'm guessing the purpose is to help allies navigate this place.
Oh no, more monsters?
Ah, shoot. They're blocking the way forward. Let's get rid of them.
Oh, that's not annoying. That is less annoying.
This place is so pretty. If not for those monsters, Paimon would have never guessed this was a battlefield.
The showmanship's not bad. I'll give her that.
I was worried it was going to change color on me. Alright, fine. We'll play Citlali and cheese it.
this? A bridge made of colors?
Don't sound so surprised. We just need to cross and we should reach the end.
Man, I miss when we were just playing a funny game of getting, haha, you're reading my mind.
We're out! Looks like we made it through the maze.
Hold on. This is...
Whoa, so pretty! The thing inside the sphere looks exactly like the maze!
It's like a miniature blueprint made from a special dye.
That color.
The dye was modified using a secret technique to harness the power of memories and create mazes like the one we just witnessed. Without that power, it's just a normal dye. But the color it produces is still quite rare.
And that must be what Baram was looking for.
I would say this is the most direct evidence that the Battle of Seven Colors actually took place.
The expert has spoken!
Perhaps I could take a closer look? It's an important piece of physical evidence, after all.
Where's Ollier?
No, you may not.
Oh, there's Ollier. He's fine.
What are you doing?
Ah, you noticed my signal. Not bad, Traveler. We make a good team.
Huh. So, you've been watching me.
You've been very obvious, to be honest.
A self-proclaimed book merchant who's never heard of Shogun Almighty reborn as Raiden with unlimited power? Please, that work was a commercial success across Teyvat.
Actually... so much. I can name several book merchants that have never heard of it.
I knew you were fishy, but I didn't expect you to pull something like this.
Monsieur Montluçon, we just need a few pictures for our research, not the artifact itself. What if it gets damaged or destroyed?
See, Ollier has been very reasonable
Shut
here.
it. I couldn't care less about preserving this piece of trash. I would destroy it right now if I could.
But then there would
Why?
be no evidence to prove the battle took place!
What if that was my goal all along?
What?
Huh. Pretending to be a book merchant? Pretending to promote the history of Natlan and its heroes was the only way to get information out of the people in this tribe. But make no mistake, I'm no lowly merchant. I am the future owner of the largest printing company in all of Teyvat.
Okay. So you are a part of a printing
But
company?
the dye in that sphere ruined all my plans before they could even get off the ground.
How so?
We've received a report that your advertisement in the paper makes false claims. Fontaine Law demands it be taken down immediately.
What?
False claims? The dye I advertised is an unprecedented innovation. It produces colors of unmatched radiance.
Unfortunately, its qualities are neither unprecedented nor unmatched. According to the lady who made the report, she saw a woven scroll in Natlan made with a similar dye.
So you've managed to make a replicatable dye, so you're just here to wipe out competition? Oh, that's so petty.
Even more miraculous, that substance dates back hundreds of years.
So we were able to compare... So he managed to replicate a substance, legendarily lost art. Oh my god, but he wanted to copyright it, so now he's mad.
How? Creating this dye is the culmination of my entire life's work. You're telling me I'm hundreds of years too late?
Calm down, sir.
Sorry, it's just... I know this product will be a hit. The economic boost to Fontaine will be huge. We just need to advertise it as written. Fontaine's publishing industry is one of the best in the world. All we need to do is publish something in the paper, and all of Teyvat will think it was our invention first.
Or you could just advertise it as, rediscovered, long-lost art.
We don't need to worry about more reports. Fontaine is far more advanced than Natlan. No one will believe such an innovative product could come from a place like that.
That goes against all of Fontaine's advertisement regulations. We can't do that.
Also, didn't
What
think
if
we'd run into a
I give
Melazine
you a portion
at
of the
any
profits?
point in the
All
Natlan
you
quest
have to do
lines.
is let the advertisement stay.
You're trying to bribe me? Careful. I'm dangerously close to reporting this to Monsieur Novelette.
I knew if I was just allowed to market my product, it would be a hit. A bestseller, even. I would be a giant in the printing industry.
It sounds to me you just couldn't market it that particular way, but you could still sell
But
it.
now, no one will see it as anything more than a poor imitation marketed centuries too late. No matter how good the product actually is, not a single one will sell.
That is your opinion. It would still sell.
I will never accept that someone from this backwoods, ignorant nation could come up with that dye. Not 200 years before me.
Even when the truth is right in front of you?
Ha! Truth is in the eye of the beholder. I'm already in the printing industry. I can go into publishing, no problem. All I have to do is destroy this sphere, write a detailed report about my findings, and publish it around the world. Then, the so-called truth becomes your word against mine. Once my report is accepted as fact, no one can accuse me of making false claims.
What if you get stuck in this maze forever, though? I would feel really bad.
What happened to restoring the truth of history?
That plan hasn't changed. I will continue to spread my truth for all of Teyvat to see.
You talk big game, but did you forget who you're talking to?
Ah, you mean a hero of Natlan who's not actually from Natlan? And a great shaman who, according to rumor, abandoned her tribe long ago? From a practical perspective, there's no reason for either of you to stand against me.
I mean... Ollier, you want to weigh in on this?
Shows what you know.
Oh, since you like rumors so much, have you heard the one about what happens to people who get on my bad side?
Ah, the wrath of Granny Itzli. Like I said, our interests aren't at odds. I knew from the beginning that you would accept my invitation, considering Huitzilin was your rival.
You assumed that she was your friend at the start.
You've lived longer than her, you're far stronger than her, and yet, she has always been more revered than you. Now, that can change. With the backing of the printing industry, I can take any book and send it to all four corners of Teyvat. This part of Natlan's history will be mine to tell. And in my version, I can erase the Battle of Seven Colors. You can be the one to have all the glory.
That is very tempting. History is always written by the victors.
That's not real history.
And that is the reason why I stand against it.
That's a no, then? Your history means nothing to me. But it's not allowed to stand in the way of my Mora.
I was always suspicious of you, considering how much money you were willing to throw around.
Done running your mouth? Good. Before handing you over to the tribe, I think I'll have my way with you first.
Teach him a lesson and make it stick.
If this comes to a fight, per my contract, you're gonna have to go through me.
So I wonder which Fatui Harbinger these guys actually work under, then. Maybe Sandrone? I don't know.
That's right. I didn't pay all that Mora for nothing.
Or they just freelance Fatuus?
Wait, aren't you subordinates of the captain? Why are
They're
you
from
helping
Fontaine
someone who
Paimon.
wants
We've
to
been over
erase
this.
Natlan's history?
The captain. You actually bought that?
No, no one said you were subordinates to the captain.
United in the pursuit of Mora, we travel the land to collect debts. Our loyalty is to Regalia, his interests, and his wealth.
Okay, so these are Pantalone's goons. Man, I'm glad that we're finally getting some more, Pantalone in the story. I did say we'd get Pantalone in some respect in Natlan or Fontaine, because we haven't seen him yet.
Regrader?
The captain means nothing to them. They serve a different harbinger altogether. Regrader!
This man has the potential to become a giant in the printing industry and disrupt Fontaine's economic system. This aligns with Regrader's interests.
It's all been a lie from the very beginning.
Doesn't change anything, Paimon. Just one more guy to beat
I
up.
don't care who you serve. When it comes to punishment, I don't discriminate.
Alright, cue the awesome Natlan fight music. Or not.
Suffer the wrath of Eatsley! Sha! Yeah! Return to the skies! Ha!
Pillow slam. Actually, hang on. Let's do this. Pop, 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 pop.
Ha!
Hey, look, a harbinger.
Overruled. Citlali, he's Papa. Get him! Sa! Yeah! Sha! Sa! Sa!
No one escapes my sights.
Everlasting as the moon. Laid bare.
Come on, we can do it.
Go.
Rudolph, the agent. We only had to beat up him.
That's what you get for messing with the hero of Natlan and Granny Eatsley. They could give Regrader a run for his Mora.
When did this person get so strong? Looks like the men following the captain failed to update us on the latest intelligence. Not good. This is becoming more trouble than it's worth. You're on your own.
Hey,
More trouble than it's
what
worth.
about our contract? Your boss signed it himself.
Our boss never signs a contract without loopholes. Even a veteran businessman like yourself fell into his trap. That's what makes him the best. Go home and read the fine print. All I did was trigger the exculpatory clause.
You?
Wow.
The other stipulations...
I gotta respect that, to be
I
honest.
set up explosives around the cave, strong enough to destroy this place, as instructed. Oh, and for security purposes, all explosives have been rigged to blow at a specific time. Shouldn't be too long now.
Well, that sucks. This historic relic is gone for good.
What? This whole place is gonna collapse?
You were supposed to wait until I made it out. Are you trying to kill me?
That depends on how fast you can run. I'm off. Oh!
You think you can just waltz out of here? Traveler, stop them, and then we'll make a break for it.
No, fuck that. I'm not leaving people to die here.
If I'm caught, I implicate my boss. Time for the backup plan.
He's gonna kill himself, isn't he? Did he actually shatter the orb? With a spear?
Where are we? Back in the maze? Our surroundings look different, though. What did that Fatui guy do?
Gotta find Citlali. She's probably somewhere around here, too.
She'll know how to get out of here. Let's hurry. If we don't make it out before the cave collapses, we might never be able to leave.
Where could she be?
Citlali!
This is what I was worried about.
It's not gonna be that easy.
A bunch of random people are gonna get stuck in here forever. I saw the special color. It seems to be guiding me.
The special color? The one you saw in that woven scroll? Why would it appear around here?
There's no time to think about that.
You're right. Lead the way, traveler.
He triggered it just like that? If the technique isn't activated correctly...
Instead of a realm of memory, the subjects in question will be trapped in a temporary space like this. If you cannot escape in time, it's mutually assured destruction. But I can't fault someone for using it as a last resort.
I knew it! Someone of your skill wouldn't leave behind memory fragments just to parrot instructions. You must have the capacity for conscious thought.
I appreciate the compliment. It's been a long time, my friend.
This is no time for a reunion. The cave outside is about to collapse. I know time flows differently in this place, but that still doesn't leave us much time. Can you help me get out?
You misunderstand, Citlali. I'm nothing more than a fragment of memory. There's not much I can do.
What do you mean? This space can be manipulated, right? The exit of your maze. I remember its structure. If I create an exit here, I can leave. You just need to tell me how to manipulate this space.
The maze you saw earlier was constructed using the memories of many warriors of Natlan.
So it's not just you and you alone.
When people leave deep impressions on each other, their memories form connections. These connections are particularly strong between comrades in arms. That is how I created my maze. The connections between the memories were my needle and thread, and the special color was my fabric. But if that color is crudely combined with an isolated memory, one without connections, you get a place like this.
Ah, so Citlali, the loner, might be stuck here.
This space is a combination of my color and your memories. There is no way to alter or construct anything within it, because there are no connections at your disposal.
Over 200 years, and not a single lasting connection. This is my punishment, huh?
I can think of two.
Well, at the very least, you have a connection to me.
Okay, 3.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to appear in this space.
That's only because you never gave me a moment's peace. Still, it's a shame you're not around. You said it yourself. A memory fragment can't be used to create the connections I need.
Citlali.
But now that I have the chance to talk to you again, I need you to give me an answer. Your special technique. You didn't pass it on to your students. You passed it on to the rival you could never beat. Me. What I want to know is, why?
So you're telling me you knew it already and could have confirmed it and put us through this whole rigmarole?
So you figured it out.
After what I saw in the maze and everything you just told me, I'm certain the technique at the center of all this is the same one you taught me all those years ago. But you never brought up the fact that you used it to win a battle. From your description, it might as well have been a simple color trick. I'm getting the feeling you always meant for me to come here. But if this is a foreshadowed event, I'm not happy with the narrative setup.
That might be my fault.
Citlali, ever since you learned that technique, you've been able to see a special color, haven't you?
You mean...
That color is the core of the technique. But it isn't my invention. It's something I discovered in the work of our ancestors. More specifically, you could call it the color of memories. In truth, passing on the technique is a process of using that color to tint another person's memories.
That's kind of neat.
Yes, the technique has the power to decide victory. But in my opinion, the capacity to add color to someone's memories is where the true value lies. You are fated to live a far longer life than me, Citlali. I couldn't bear the thought of all those years existing as a blank canvas in your memory. So I wanted to leave a little color behind.
Your color, you mean?
One day, you too will want to leave behind your color in someone else's memory. When that day comes, you will understand my decision.
I think that day is already here. So if you still need time, let me choose to remember you first.
I have to get out of here. That's the only way to rescue them.
Citlali, what are you...
I understand the true principle of this technique now. If I can't construct an exit, then I will separate this color from my memories by force.
But you could lose a portion of your memories that way.
I know, but my memory is just a blank canvas I've neglected for 200 years. My friends are worth the risk.
I have to find her.
Traveler?
When you entered the realm of memory I constructed, I used your memories to learn about your recent experiences. I have a feeling you're the one who will be saved this time. After 200 years, someone has appeared by your side. The kind of person I could have never anticipated. The Night Kingdom harbors Natlan's memories, and the Traveler's connection to that realm is incredibly strong, surpassing even the shamans who worship the Lord of the Night. This means that, even without your tutelage, he can see the color of memories.
What did you say?
Although he doesn't know how to wield it, he unknowingly left behind a trace of color in your memories. That was enough to guide him to this space. You now have a connection at your disposal. Well, Citlali, it looks like part of this was foreshadowed, but the rest is a surprise.
Traveler? Traveler!
So we have to rescue her. So in other words, this place is only, a permanent maze for connectionless losers.
That's Citlali's voice.
Or lonely loners.
This is goodbye, my friend. Your memories over the past 200 years are much more than a blank canvas. Cherish them.
And they're gone.
Celine.
Citlali!
Paimon! Traveler!
Finally found you. Let's find a way to get out of here.
Hold my hand.
I can't believe when I was guessing who those Fatui worked for, that Regrader / Pantalone didn't come to mind. I hope everyone else gets out okay.
Teleport out? Man, that place was so... Whoa! We made it out just in time! Wonder what happened to the Fatui guy and the others.
He was most likely trapped inside that space, just like us. The external structures supporting that space would have collapsed with the ruin. Unless he managed to escape, he would have been crushed.
He still preferred that to being caught, huh?
What about the Fontanians?
They were standing a bit further away, right? They probably weren't pulled into the space. Maybe they already made a run for it.
Hello?
Elier, I'm glad you're okay. I also feel bad for all those Fatui agents that were literally just doing their job, I would like to remind you all. And are now, unfortunately, crushed to death, mostly by their own doing. But if Montemare didn't get out, he was also kind of just a civilian.
It's one of Maluson's employees! Quick, restrain him!
They didn't even bother to put his name in the text.
I can explain. I had no idea Malu-san was such a terrible person. I couldn't stop him from running, so I stayed behind and tried to find people to help rescue you. I'm so glad you managed to get out of there.
Either way, the guards will take you back to the tribe. You'll be their problem.
I understand.
Anyway, I'm not here to harp on you. I just need to know one thing. Which way did he run?
He went that way, but I'm not sure if you can catch up.
That way? Unless he suddenly grows a pair of wings, I think we're okay. Traveler, Paimon, come with me.
I do hope that those Fatui guys got out.
I'll wait here for the tribal guards. I'm so sorry the ruin was destroyed.
I hope you got some pictures, pal.
Hey, it's Elder Tlapo and a group of Victomisaurs! They caught Maluson!
Something felt off about him yesterday, so I set a few things in motion. Looks like it's time for that foreshadowing to pay off.
My bank balance! No! No!
What's wrong with him?
Oh, they're showing him illusions, aren't they?
That's one of the tricks Claw uses to scare people. He makes people hallucinate the thing that scares them most.
My bank balance.
It's particularly effective on weak-minded people like him.
Serves him right.
I know. It was a lot to ask, making you come all the way out here during the day.
Was that a declaration? Elder Tlappo didn't appoint us to a whole other task, did he?
Forget about him for now. The Ectomisaurs will make sure Montluçon doesn't escape before the guards arrive. In the meantime, we have unfinished business, remember?
Are you still reading my mind?
Right, the special scroll. But the die is buried underneath a bunch of rubble now.
Don't worry, Witzeline's technique hasn't been lost at all. Come with me, I'll explain everything at my house. Oh, and Traveler? Everything you said about memory, I finally figured out my answer. I knew you'd want to tag along. Let's go.
Alrighty, here we go. This has been a pretty lengthy one, huh? 2 hours and 45 minutes seems to be like the average these days, huh? I think it's funny that we can go in Citlali's messy house, but we can't go in Shalonen's messy house.
Now, when it comes to weaving the scroll itself, you don't actually need to lift a finger. But if we're going to pass on Witzeline's technique, your participation is critical.
What are you saying, Citlali?
Follow me.
Oh, there was another room in this house? Oh my god, you have a whole... Oh, basement. Okay, it's just a giant scroll.
Whoa, look at this place. Do you weave scrolls too?
Scrolls. Scrolls? I thought you were going to show me your masterpiece.
That I am, old friend. The technique I'm about to show you directly relates to woven scrolls.
Now I'm a little bit annoyed you didn't just tell us from the beginning.
Fine. What is it? Something that can turn the tide of war or prevent a great disaster? You probably want to challenge me, right? I know you don't have the strength for a real fight, so I'll let you beat me with words.
Old friend, my life is nearing its end. I'm afraid I don't have time for another match.
She gonna die in that chair.
Hey.
Don't worry. I trust in the belief of our tribe that death is not the end, but the beginning of a new existence in the Night Kingdom, where everything is made of memories.
I wonder, when everybody had those dreams of those who died, I wonder if yours was of Witzelian.
So, do you know why our ancestors insisted on using
That's the scroll. That's the scroll from the first part.
woven scrolls to record our history? Because history is the memory of a people. We give our scrolls an orange hue, so the dead can still feel the warmth of the setting sun. We decorate them with kernels of grain fruit, so the dead can still enjoy the abundance of our harvests.
I know that, but something this important? Why entrust it to me and not one of your students?
As your friend, I admit, I'm being a bit selfish. I don't have long, Citlali. Oh, I'm not sure I can truly explain my decision. But I know you will understand one day. For now, will you accept my final request?
Just this once.
You never explained why she's, like, not human and why she lives so long. I was hoping we'd get some insight into that.
I understand now, Wheatsealing. Just like you said I would. Claw, help me move this outside. I'm going to color it. Traveler, Paimon, come with me.
Ooh, we're about to get a cool cutscene, aren't we? Claw helps you bring the woven scroll outside. I'm going to still call her Melder Tlapo, though. Even though we're probably older than him.
We are like birds, soaring through the horizons of time. I linger between brushes of memory.
Oh, here we go.
Seeking the color of my final journey. When I get there, may there be feathers to paint the sky, shades of rose.
So you're the person on the scroll.
And fields of green to beckon adventurous souls. And azure oceans with which to sail into the unknown.
People of the Springs.
And volcanoes too, where, despite the danger,
Children of
hidden
Echoes.
treasure waits to be found.
Children of Echoes.
And graffiti art, of course. Without that color,
Masters of the Night Wind.
Imagine the dullness of night.
Anything else?
In the end, I hope everyone remembers my color too.
Oh, wow.
In the end, I hope everyone remembers your color too. All in all, it was just a technique for coloring a scroll.
The task I'm entrusting to you is much more than that.
It was the ancestors'
Farewell,
dedicated way of remembering history. This was a beautiful story. Sad. And only 5 people had to get trapped in an endless maze forever and die for it. Probably. I hope I hope they lived. Even if even the people will probably say they didn't deserve it.
I knew you would understand.
This is the special scroll. How did you know how to weave it, Citlali?
Remember the gift from the spirits?
Hold on. You've lived for more than 200 years. You know how to weave the special scroll. That must mean you're the one behind the gifts from the spirits.
Oh, well, it's not like I wanted to interact with the appointed. So whenever I delivered the scroll, I used illusions to confuse them.
That's kind of disappointing. I was hoping for some cool spiritualistic Lord of the Night, Sealy type explanation. But no, the people just she just does it. See, you've just been doing this for 200 years. What happened if you what would have happened if you died? Your entire clan's history would be gone forever. Your entire nation's history.
The fact that it turned into some kind of divine intervention is because no one was skilled enough to see through my tricks.
Why not just tell them?
You've carried the duty alone for all these years? Even if you don't like interacting with people, why not teach someone else how to do it?
Traveler, You can see the special color, right?
Yes.
The essence of that color is memory. That means completing the special scroll is a process of searching for color within your memories. Passing the technique on to someone means sharing your memories with them. You need to leave traces of your color in their memory, and they must do the same. Even though I only confirmed that today, I've had suspicions for a long time. And, well, ever since Citlali died, I haven't wanted to form that kind of connection with people.
Oh, yeah.
It was her final wish, so I kind of resigned myself to taking on the burden forever. After all, I have all the time in the world.
Yeah, about that. Why do you not age?
But Claw never stopped appointing new candidates to weave the scroll, despite knowing exactly how I felt about the situation.
You mean he never stopped trying to find new friends for you?
I knew exactly what he was doing. And yeah, if I ever did share my memories with someone, I guess that person would be a friend. But it never got to that point. This time, though, you win, Claw. Take this. I guess it's my response to what you told me the other night.
The handkerchief.
What is it?
If I had to choose my color, it would be the color of this handkerchief. Countless people exist in my memories, and I know one day that will be my fate, too. A memory living on in someone else's head. Since you have a long lifespan, you're the perfect candidate to bear this memory and carry my color in your mind.
There's probably some people that'll live longer than us. Does that mean I'm officially your friend?
Just keep it safe. And you better not forget my color when I'm gone.
Speaking of that, how long do you think it'll be? Can I get like a yearage, a centuryage, an eonage, an eon?
Whoa. It's a little early to talk about death, don't you think? It's only been a few seconds since we made the friendship official.
Isn't that what friends are for?
Okay, this is a serious commitment. Well, Citlali, if the Traveler's going to leave their color in your mind too, it'll probably be gold, right?
Actually, their mark is already there. Remember the mind-reading effect I couldn't fix? Well, I finally got to the bottom of it.
Please tell me you did.
Sharing senses allows communication to occur between the consciousness of different people. Naturally, memories are also involved in that process. Although I didn't know it at the time, we both have the ability to see the color of memory, which means that when I shared my senses with you, a connection was created between our memories. And that connection is what caused my original spell to go haywire.
So, you can hear the Traveler's thoughts because you left traces of color in each other's memories? And that's why the Traveler could hear your thoughts too, because it works both ways, right?
Quick thinking, but only those trained in the mystic arts can maintain that level of connection. That's why I can still hear the Traveler's thoughts, but not the other way around. There's no need to worry, though. Now that I've figured out how it works, I'll get rid of it in no time.
Sure you will.
Oh.
I lied. Hearing each other's thoughts actually depends on the strength of the connection between our memories.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So, after everything we just went through, I bet you can hear me again.
Uh-oh.
I knew it. Since the connection between our memories is already there, the only way to get rid of the effect is for one of us to forget about the other.
Oh, that kind of sucks. So is there a way to stop it?
Since the... Just messing with you. I'm a legendary shaman of my tribe. Now that I know the cause, of course I can figure out
Paimon
how to
thing
fix
fully
it.
left out of the conversation.
It'll probably take some time, though. So bear with me for now. Besides, I'm an open book. It's not like you're gonna hear anything embarrassing.
Paimon.
Unless I've had a few drinks.
Oh, so you can turn it off. That's a shame.
A shame? I mean, if you ever miss this whole telepathy mess, I could always share my senses with you again.
It's very funny. I really enjoy it.
No promises, though. Some thoughts are better kept to yourself.
I've been making this joke throughout my entire playthrough. That whenever we see the parentheses, it's supposed to be the traveler's thoughts, but then other characters acknowledge it because I've quit, or we acknowledge it because we're reading their thoughts. This is the one story arc where this has actually been the meme, and I enjoy it.
Huh?
Sorry, Paimon. Someone else gets to share the brain cell today. Man, when I said that this is probably going to be 2 hours and 45 minutes, I wasn't joking. I don't remember if I said it in this stream, but I know I said it in a previous stream that these character stories, the average seems to be around 2 hours and 45 minutes these days. Out of curiosity, what's my pity at? 46? Why is my pity so high? I don't remember doing this many pulls on Wanderer's Banner.
Ah, you did it? Your investigation into the Battle of Seven Colors must have been fruitful indeed. I do hope you share what you learned.
Wow, the scroll is finished already!
Elder Talapo's wisdom is never wrong.
Yeah, we should explain. Take it away, Traveler!
Oh boy, where do I start? Share everything you learned about the special color while keeping Ollie's contribution a secret.
I see.
You don't look surprised at all.
It makes perfect sense. History is the memory of a people. If we want to depict it, a dye derived from people's memories is, of course, the best choice. Now, it's just a matter of preserving this secret technique. From your description, it sounds like learning the technique requires the previous holder to share their memories.
Well, yeah.
In that case, I must work with our priests to reinvent the technique based on the principles you described.
Yeah, but then again, that printer guy also managed to reinvent the technique.
After all, memories are precious things, meant to be shared with those closest to us. I cannot take that choice away from you, Traveler. You completed your task admirably. Finding a way to carry on that legacy is now our duty.
Alright, we'll leave that to you.
And please pass along my thanks to Granny Citlali. We interrogated the Fontanian merchant she apprehended, and it turns out he's the reason some among our tribe started to question our history. He hired people to spread misinformation about the Battle of Seven Colors. The recent friction within the tribe is entirely his doing.
That's kind of sad and disappointing. I feel like people should be skeptical.
We now have a record of his crimes, and will begin working with Fontaine authorities in a few days.
So he was behind the controversy in the first place. Guess it's easier to investigate when people are already questioning something. Anyway, that clears it up. People don't just question their history out of nowhere.
Is Ollier okay? I want to know if Ollier's okay.
Until we meet again.
Explain the situation to Citlali.
Ah, Natlan's victory against the Abyss. Very fitting for a scroll like this.
I wonder how long until Elder Talapo chooses the next appointed.
Speaking of Elder Talapo, I heard he went missing yesterday. Do you know what happened?
Elder Talapo works in mysterious ways. The meaning of his departure will become clear in time, but for now, we cannot hope to fathom it.
You told him everything, right?
We left your contribution secret.
Yep, we left out the part about your contribution, but it kinda seemed like Chief Biram saw through us.
You could have just said it was a gift from the spirits.
Yeah, but Chief Biram deserves something in return for his hard work.
I guess he is different from the previous chiefs. But if he figures out it was me all these years, I'm in for a world of trouble.
Are you?
There you are. I've been
Oh,
looking everywhere for you.
Oh, it's the other Fontanian researcher. He wasn't taken away with his boss?
Please, call me Allier. After questioning, the tribe absolved me of any serious wrongdoing, so here I am. I'll be heading back to Fontaine soon. No employer means no funding, after all. But I wanted to finish my investigation first. I'd like to ask some questions about Huitziline. I want people outside of Natlan to hear her story, but my understanding still has some holes.
Questions? Huh! Why should I let an Outlander tell our stories?
Don't misunderstand. I have no intention of twisting your history or using it to make a profit. It's just honest curiosity. I assure you.
Technically, he's our contemporary, as a fellow member of the Fontaine Research Institute.
I believe amazing stories deserve to be shared with the world. Culture thrives through dialogue and exchange.
He has a point.
All right, you can ask your questions, but be quick. I have important plans after this.
Important plans?
Oh, I hate that I know what that means.
Oh, thank you very much.
He's got the notepad out. Alia conducts a thorough interview, only leaving when Citlali finally runs out of patience.
Another day, another drained social battery.
We should probably get moving then.
Uh-huh. Hold on. You owe me a pair of books.
Paimon, cheese it! Run! She's still here? Dang it.
Oh, that! When it comes to light novels, your memory is like a steel trap, huh?
What's looks that rare will take some time to find. I don't know, we could probably ask Yai.
You're telling me. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. You might need to go to Yai Publishing House in person.
That's the easy part.
But I don't need them right away. Just don't forget, okay?
Of course! We'll get them sent to you as soon as we can!
Sent to me? Nuh-uh. I don't want a stranger knocking on my door when I'm hungover. Here, just take this.
Whoa! This relationship's moving faster than I expected.
And this is?
I will not repeat what is about to be said, Paimon.
The key to my house. Don't bother knocking next time. You'll disturb my sleep.
The truth of the Battle of Seven Colors comes to a close. We have achieved boyfriend status. Alright. Thus ends today's questline. I don't know how long it'll take me to edit this down, but it'll probably be out within a few days. The key given to you by Citlali so that you won't wake me up by beating on my door while I'm drunk. Carefully place it alongside the handkerchief she gave you. After all, you've collected so many keys in the past, this one needs to have a special mark to stand out. I hope that my colors may abide by your... I hope my colors may abide in your memory, always. Well, we still have 2 more of these to find, if I remember correctly, from our Pilgrim's Chronicle.
Never mind.
Thank you, everybody who stopped by.
Let them do as they please.
This has been a very fun and entertaining endeavor. You know what? For the lulz. I didn't think so. But we're at a pretty high pity. We were at 46, so that puts us at 56. Hey, Widsith. I could use some of those. And the Harbinger of Dawn. Why am I not surprised? Stay safe, everybody. I'll see you all in the next stream. My links are in the places you know where to find them. And if you don't know where to find them, I trust y'all are smart enough to figure out where to find them. Ta-ta. Stay safe, everyone.